going to ask you, can you tell us about the marketplace in Eastern Europe versus being in the West?
Yeah, absolutely. Indeed. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a complicated issue, really. You certainly have more value, I think, certainly as a British guy or as an American guy.
Especially you, the Chad, dressed all well and everything else like that. You know,
thanks, man.
Very dapper.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, guys. No, I tried to sort of play a little bit on the British gentleman, the
James Bond.
Yeah, all of that stuff. Yeah, yeah. And that plays pretty well. They kind of like that. But at the same time, it's a mistake to think that you can just rock up there and you're just going to get girls who are sort of throwing themselves at you, because that's an illusion as well,
right?
You know, and I think that was sort of
Andrew talked about that as well. Is that you're not gonna, if you're a loser in the West and then you go to Eastern Europe, you're still gonna take an L. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely. And you have to bear in mind as well, if you go to say Moscow, I mean, Moscow has got one of the highest concentrations of billionaires in the whole world.
I didn't know that.
It's got more billionaires there. I forget the exact figure, but it's got more billionaires in Moscow than certainly there is in London, for example. So that place specifically, it's a very wealthy, rich place. So actually, it's almost, depending on who you're interacting with, you may be meeting girls or women who are actually higher value than you, depending on where you come in on that scale. So this idea of like, oh, I can just rock up there and it's going to be paradise is not true. I mean, saying that, somewhere like Ukraine, for example, it probably is somewhat poorer. So there is that kind of economic imbalance. But even then, and I think this is what Andrew's talked about a lot, is the fact that a lot of these women actually really, they just want to meet somebody from their own culture. You know, they want to meet somebody from their own background and kind of do that rather than just meeting some random dude from another country. So but in saying that, I have to say, when we were in Russia, when we were in Eastern Europe, we were getting far better reactions when we were interacting with women than we would do back in London. So it's sort of the pictures